Service to our valued customers was our vision from the very beginning, and that has not changed. As we reflect on our past and look forward to our future, we want to thank generations of families in Benton County for their trust in us. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we are here for you, and we hope to see you very soon at one of our upcoming community events. Apex Bank of Camden, building stronger communities together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Good Saturday morning to you, everybody. Welcome to Operation 7570 on this cool Saturday morning after Thanksgiving. Certainly hope that everybody had a great, wonderful Thanksgiving day and enjoying the remainder of your holiday weekend. But however you're joining us today, whether it's on WRJB, WRJBradio.com, joining us this morning by way of Facebook, great to have you with us. In our studios today, we have two fine gentlemen who are members of our emergency responders here in Benton County. We have Mr. David Tuck. He is on the Benton County Rescue Squad, recently named as president of the Tennessee Association of Rescue Squads, and works as chief down at the Eva Volunteer Fire Department. Also with us is Jeff Pierce. Jeff is the fire chief for the Camden Police Department. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate both of you being in our studios today. Thanks for giving up some Saturday morning.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. And I understand you didn't get much rest last night, had a mission, got in about 4, and boy, I'm just really thrilled. I'm honored that you'd even, set that alarm clock and be with us today. But thanks for all you do. We appreciate it.
We definitely enjoy being here.
Well, David, let's start out with you. We've had Jeff up here before a time or two, and we'll get to Jeff in just a moment. But give me some background about yourself, and I know you have to do something to make a living other than emergency response, but give me about your background and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in the emergency service for about 27 years now. I started out with the rescue squad and then transitioned into the fire department. My real job, a lot of people say I don't have one, but anyway, my real job is I'm the supervisor of the wastewater plant for the city of Camden. So, been there about going on 15 years now.
Now, has emergency response and serving others in your capacity, whether it's with the rescue squad or as a fire chief, has that always been a passion of yours?
It has, man. I really enjoy it. Well, you've got to, as much time as we spend on it, you've got to enjoy what we do. It's always an honor to serve our community. I mean, that's giving back to the community is one of the biggest things you can do.
And were you able to work yourself up and a couple of weeks or a few weeks back now, back in September, October, I guess it was, how did you work your way up all the way to be state director of our Rescue Squad Association?
Well, it started about 5 years ago. I started out as a region vice president, which I served in that spot for 3 years, and then I went to the state vice president for 2 years, and the training is what I was over for the past 2 years, and I'm really passionate about going out and training other people, and it's been a big influence in my life, and I hope I can make a difference in somebody else's life by training them.
Now, the statewide association, Tennessee Association of Rescue Squads, then, that is the association of all the rescue squads, of course, but do you maybe have like a subdivision, or do you have region meetings for West Tennessee or that sort of thing?
Yes, it's divided up in 4 different regions across the state. One, from Knoxville up towards Bristol and Kingsport, that direction is Region 1, and then you got from Crossville, Tennessee, all the way to Pigeon Forge, that's Region 2. And then Region 3 is everything in Middle Tennessee, and anything that touches the Tennessee River back to the Mississippi River is actually Region 4, and that is West Tennessee.
Okay. Well, Jeff, let's talk about you. You've been fire chief for the town of Camden, city of Camden, for about 2 years right now. And in case there's any newcomers out there, give me some background about yourself and how you become involved with the fire department and emergency rescue.
Yeah, I've been on the fire department for like 32 years, and like you said, chief for the last 2, taking over for Dad when he retired. And I've been on the rescue squad for like 29 years. And then my main job, and I'm with him, they say we don't do anything. But I've been with the city water treatment plant and been the supervisor out there for 33 years, working on 34.
And I know the personnel, the officials of the city of Camden, they've really been good to you gentlemen. If in the event that there has been a call, whether it's a fire department call or rescue, they're pretty good, so that, if you can, sometimes, I know you can't always, but if you have to leave your job to go on a mission, you can.
Yeah, they are. I mean, when some of the guys especially are, in holes working on water leaks and things of that nature, they may not be able to let them go. Of course, if we're out at the water treatment plant alone, you can't. But any other time, if there's a possibility of, letting us, leave to do the fire or rescue, either one, then they're real good about letting us do that.
Yeah. Well, I know this is a question we need to direct to Mayor Pafford, and we will at some point down the road, but out at the water treatment plant out on 70 East before the Tennessee River, that building out there, I think, is over 50 years old, as a matter of fact, and maybe there's some upgrades coming on down the road.
That building has been there since 1964.
Oh, older than I thought.
Yeah, and we have purchased property to build a new plant on. I think it's kind of in the design phase at the moment. I've always kind of looked forward to maybe seeing a new plant and being able to help, put my 2 cents in for it. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, now, you are also a member of the Benton County Rescue Squad, of course, as well as chief of the Camden Fire Department. And does it help you to have that experience with the rescue squad, whether you're fighting a fire, going out on rescue squad call, the training you have?
We've got several members that's actually, members of both the fire and the rescue. And of course, David's on 2 departments. He's on the Camden department as well as the EVA. But you get a camaraderie, I guess, between the members, and it just the different training you learn to, after a while, what the other one's thinking, I think, sometimes. And so it helps doing that a whole lot.
Go ahead, David.
All 3 agencies, our 3 agencies work well with each other. I mean, it's just like a brotherhood. We know what the other one's thinking most of the time when we were out on a scene or a mission. We know what the other one's needing to do or what we need to do to help them out when we're there.
Now, in the rescue squad, you have some training, of course. As a member of the fire department, you have training, but do you ever bring both agencies together and have joint training?
We're working on building that part of it because, there's 7 different agencies other than the Camden Fire Department. There's 7 other fire departments in the county. And them knowing what the squad needs when we're out on a call is something we need to work on a little bit better so everybody has a better understanding of what we're doing. And the guys that are not on the fire department know what the guys on the fire department is doing on the other opposite side of that.
Okay. Now, within the course of our local rescue squad, and we appreciate it, might you be more trained, let's just say, in water search and rescue as opposed to a rescue squad up in East Tennessee near the mountains where they may have, mountain rescue, things like that?
Well, believe it or not, they do dragging operations a whole lot different in East Tennessee than the way we do it in West Tennessee. They go back and forth across the river when we go diagonally with the river. So it's all different concepts, and the water's a lot shallower up there in a lot of places, so it's a whole different operation from what they do in East Tennessee to West Tennessee.
But if we need those resources up there and they need our resources, we're available 24 hours a day.
Absolutely. All I got to do is make 1 or 2 phone calls, and everybody else starts to get notified of what's going on, and they'll start getting people together, whatever I request.
Well, David, have there been many missions this year as far as the Benton County Rescue Squad goes as we enter this holiday season now?
I would say the biggest mission we've been on this year was probably the Waverly flood. And that was a tough time for a lot of people. So
And still is.
And it's they're still in the rebuilding process. We've been out of county on a couple other searches in some other counties, but other than that, it's been kind of calm for us here lately in Benton County.
Okay. What about the Camden Fire Department, Jeff? What about as far as battling fires, that sort of thing?
We haven't just here lately had a lot of real bad fires. We've had a lot of calls, and I don't really understand what has stepped that up. But the last, especially 4 or 5 months?
Yes, in the past.
Especially, I mean, if it hadn't been landing a helicopter or we've had a lot of medical assist and, lifting people and things of that nature. And, but other than just one bad fire, I can't think of any just right off the top of my head.
Probably the last fire that was probably our worst one was the one on Beaver Dam down there with the house fire with the Crow gentleman that was in the house fire.
Yeah, that was a few months back, as a matter of fact. Yeah, okay. And speaking of medical assist, things like that, David, whether it's fire department or Benton County Rescue Squad, the past 20, 21 months with the pandemic, has that affected the way you respond to a call now for emergencies?
Yes, it has. I mean, we've actually assisted EMS quite a bit more than what we normally do, and that's because they're short-staffed trying to do everything else. So we've had to step in and, change our protocols if we enter a home, wear a mask, glove up, the whole 9 yards.
Of course, you've always had protocols
Yes.
in place with safety equipment, but now even more so.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. How many members do you have as far as EVA Russians Creek are concerned right now? And give me a history about that volunteer fire department.
EVA was founded in 1992. That was founded in EVA, and now we've got 2 stations. One's over on 69A. We've been able to upgrade most every truck that we've had to something new, I've got about 14 active members right now, and I've got a couple that are waiting to go to a fire school to get trained in 64-hour and live burn.
Now, we know EVA, Russian Creek Fire Department. We appreciate you being out there for the community out there and all that you do in Benton County. And, of course, EVA is not an incorporated municipality, so how are you funded?
Well, the county helps us out quite a bit, but the money we get from the county mainly pays the insurance on our fire department. And, we're paying $18,000, $19,000 a year just in insurance, and that's what most of the county money goes to. Then we have some fundraisers, a letter drive that's coming out soon. That's how we generate the rest of our money.
And United Way.
And United Way helps out quite a bit
They
too.
do.
Yeah, we just finished a very successful United Way drive here about a month ago, and that's coming up again in the spring. And, if you give to United Way, you can designate a contribution to United Way to go to a certain agency for sure.
And something else the squad has got going on right now, using Amazon. You can go in at Amazon, and when you order something off Amazon, the squad has got a page set up right now where you can click it, and it will get proceeds out of part of that sales that you bought from Amazon. It will go back to the Benton County Rescue Squad.
How do you get equipment? How do you get fire trucks for the volunteer fire department? I know here not too many months back, maybe a year and a half ago or so, you went up to the Northeast, brought back a brand new piece of equipment, but how do you secure equipment?
Well, I spend a lot of time on the internet searching for stuff. I really do. When we was looking for a new ladder truck that we brought and put in at the city here, I spent over a year looking for it, trying to find a good deal for us that would be well worth our money, and I believe that truck actually turned out really well. And just a few months ago, we went to Michigan and bought another truck for the Russian Creek station, and it looked like it just come off the showroom floor. It's just spending time on the internet and hard work and sweat trying to find what you need.
Okay. Jeff, talk a moment or two about the partnership, the relationship EVA has with Camden Volunteer Fire Department. And as you alluded to a while ago, y'all work real well together.
We do. When we get calls, there's a lot of times, like you said before, we've got members that they're going to be at work or out of town or this and that, and with us not being a full-time fire department, EVA's pretty quick about getting there, and they come and help a whole lot. So we depend on them a whole lot, and they depend on us. Of course, a lot of times if they've got a fire closer to another fire department, they may call the other one. We are well blessed in Benton County. We've got a lot of good fire departments and work well together, but Camden and EVA we've just clicked, I guess you'd say. It works real well.
How do you get the fire call? Of course, it goes into dispatch most of the times, but how does that fire call then, given out to the members?
We've got pagers that we keep, or a lot of them carry radios or scanners or just whatever. Our pagers are the main thing, and of course those things cost quite a bit of money, and we've got a little bit of a limited budget, and we don't get a lot of help from United Way or whatever. We do occasionally get some donations, and that helps a whole lot, getting extra equipment that we wouldn't normally get.
And David, I know after a fire call, we appreciate y'all being there. As we mentioned, we don't want a fire call at all, but glad you're there. But even after the fire call is taken care of and you come back to station or post, of course, there's some things. You just don't put the truck back into the bay and just leave. There's some cleanup that has to take place.
Oh, absolutely. Your hose has got to be cleaned up. Cancer's the leading cause of death for firemen. We need to we try to wash our gear down so it's ready for the next call. And if it's an arson case, you don't want to contaminate from the previous fire going into another house fire, so we try to keep our gear clean, trucks clean. That way it looks good when it rolls out of the station, and it's in working order when we get there.
And I guess you never know from call to call, and I guess you never know how, every call is different. You're going to get the call, but every call is different.
Yes. It's anywhere, it depends on how the call comes in is how we receive the call, from dispatch. sometimes it's real smaller than what it was previously paged out as. So it's always a good thing.
Yeah. And Jeff, as we go further now, what we want to get into, especially in the second part of our program, is good fire safety with Christmas tree decorations, holiday decorations coming up. We're going to do that. But the question I've got for you right now, is there a certain type of fire that's more difficult to contain than another type, or is there a certain type of structures that's more difficult to fight a fire with?
We have a lot of trouble, especially when we have houses that got shingle roofs and then metal on top of them. You have a lot of trouble with that. Those are hard to get under and get this fire put out. If you've got a business, just like Busby's tire that caught on fire, of course, when you've got a lot of tires involved and things of that nature and chemicals in the building, that's real hard to get put out.
The older construction is a little bit easier to fight. This new construction, the way this composite wood and all is, it goes up a whole lot quicker than the older houses will. I mean, we have a less of a chance saving it if it's a new construction because of the way the new material is.
Yeah. Well, I remember several months ago back during the part of the summer, Jeff, I think it's just up on Vicksburg, there was a fire that y'all got there very quick for, got up there and had it under control. But I think the ventilation up there, were able, to go up where the vents were and, start attacking the blaze from up on the roof.
Yeah, a lot of times if they've got the whirly-bird things on top, you can knock those off, and that way you don't have to cut any more holes in the roof. And a lot of people don't understand that when we go up there and go to cutting holes in the roof. They think that we're just damaging their house. But, I mean, if we don't do it, it's gonna burn. I mean, we've got to let the heat out and got to get the water to the fire. So, if we do that, we hope that everybody understands that's just something we have to do.
Are you up at the fire department now? And I know you had to stop this during the pandemic. School groups, like to come up there, and the kids like to see the fire trucks and
they do.
Have the siren. Are you doing that now? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to come up, we've got especially one of our members that's really good with kids, and I try to get him to talk to them. Brad Mills, he's real good with them, and we'll sometimes take the trucks to the school and just do it there for them.
And David, that's really thrilling to go out and see at an elementary school, see those kids, or it's safety day where you got this equipment coming out. They just, marvel.
We've actually taken the ladder trucks to several different places this year for school events so they could look at the ladder truck. That's been one of the more requested trucks to bring, is because it's seeing it raised up in the air. The kids really enjoy seeing it. So it's a good thing.
You've got to have, on that ladder truck, you've got to have some experienced drivers on that, don't you? They've got to know how to maneuver left and right.
It's a complicated thing. I mean, I don't let everybody drive it.
I can understand that. For sure. But when you go up with the ladder, what the maximum height of the ladder is? It goes up?
It goes up to 100 foot.
Okay.
And the platform that it's in when you're standing on, it's automatic level. So you stay level the entire time you're raising it up or swinging it around left or right. And
tell me again how you were able to secure that truck. And it did replace a previous ladder truck, didn't it?
The previous ladder truck we had was built in 1966. I mean, it served our community well. When we got that one, we actually paid $1 for it out of New York. So that was a blessing to us and the people of Benton County. But again, it was a lot of time and search on the internet finding that truck.
And you have to have some great personnel with these other volunteer fire departments or these other fire departments where you're going to get a truck like the ladder truck. I mean, we appreciate those folks who are wanting to help a good community like Eva.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's, like I said, the city's helped me out quite a bit with that truck, so it's been a blessing, and it's parked here in town, so it can go anywhere a whole lot quicker than it coming out of Eva.
Yeah, but every fire, every call, you don't necessarily take that truck, do you?
No, it just depends on the call, what's going on.
Right, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about halfway through the program this morning, Operation 7570. We need to take a break right now for our good friends at Apex Bank. We'll be back with the second portion of our program. Stay with us.
Hello folks, this is Marcus Vine with Apex Bank of Camden, and we're proud to announce that this year is our 90th year serving the Benton County community. Since Bank of Camden's humble beginnings in 1931, we have been a proud part of this community, and as a community, we've come through many challenging and difficult times together, both then and now, over the last 90 years. Helping to provide economic stability and growth, investing in our hometown, and delivering great service to our valued customers was our vision from the very beginning, and that has not changed. As we reflect on our past and look forward to our future, we want to thank generations of families in Benton County for their trust in us. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we are here for you. And we hope to see you very soon at one of our upcoming community events. Apex Bank of Camden, building stronger communities together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back this morning on Operation 7570. David Tuck is with us. Jeff Pierce is with us. They're with the local fire departments. David represents Eva Volunteer Fire Department. And, of course, Jeff, Chief of the Camden Volunteer Fire Department. And both are members of our Benton County Rescue Squad. David, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, named as the statewide president of the Tennessee Association of Rescue Squads, and also at the meeting that you had, I think, up in Pigeon Forge, David, at that particular point in time, recognized another good man from Benton County that meant a lot to our rescue squad who recently moved to Memphis.
Yeah, we hate to see Don go. Don won 3 awards that night, and it was well deserved for him. He had done a lot for the Benton County Rescue Squad, for the citizens of Benton County. I mean, he was always volunteering his services no matter what it was.
That's right. He was involved with the Rescue Squad, United Way, so many, many more great causes here. Did he take them? Some of those world famous slaw burgers?
Yes, believe it or not, he left somebody a recipe here at Benton County, so we'll still have the slaw at the Benton County Fair. So there you go.
Well, I was wondering about that for sure. I mean, that's
if we can, we'll get him to come make it for us.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe Don will come back any chance he gets.
Yeah, we appreciate Don Myers so very, very much and wish him the very best. Well, as we get into the second part of the program, we want to talk more about safety in regards to Christmas trees and winter coming on with furnaces, wood-burning stoves, fireplaces maybe. But, David, before we do that, let's talk about parades coming up. And, Jeff, I'll get your input on the counter parade in just a moment. But Eva has a big event coming up next Saturday. Tell me about that, David.
Yes, I believe it's at 2 o'clock also is the startup time. We'll be coming out of where High Banks is, out in front, and then we'll go up Eva Road back in front of the post office and even down there at Eva Beach. So it's actually a growing success down there for their little parade that they have.
Yeah, done it, 2-3 years now, I think? Yeah.
And it keeps growing every year. There for a while we was meeting at the church behind the post office, and it's got so big now they had to move it on down to the boat landing down there just so they have enough room to get everybody lined up.
And got some folks down at the pavilion at Eva Beach, probably have Santa Claus there, maybe some refreshments, and hopefully it'll be a good day for that.
I hope so. We're looking forward to it.
And anybody can come. You don't necessarily have to be from Eva area. You can come and just put an entry in the parade.
It draws a big crowd down there at Eva Beach, and the park rangers they help out a lot. The state park down there helps out a lot with that, so it's growing.
That's right, absolutely. Good little community, a lot of good history with Eva.
Oh, absolutely.
Jeff, what about the Camden Parade? I know next week we have Lori Matlock coming up here. She's the new executive director of the Chamber. She's going to be here talking with us about the parade as they finalize things for that. But that's coming up in Camden, I think, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, December the 11th at 2 o'clock as well. And that's something, too. We just hope, of course, with us, with the rescue squad, we also usually help block the roads. And a lot of people don't like that. They have a big problem not being able to get where they want to go. But I hope people, realize that, the parade's going to happen, and hopefully they'll be able to sit back and watch and enjoy the parade. And if they need to be somewhere, get there a little early.
And, of course, I think after the parade, I think the Camden Downtown Business Association, I think they're planning a whole great list of activities the remainder of the afternoon up till about 6 o'clock.
They may be. I haven't heard that.
Well, Lori, I'm sure she'll shed some good light on that. But do you enjoy getting out with events like this, Halloween on the Square, stuff like that?
Yeah, the kids seem to love it. I mean, the Halloween on the Square thing that they done this year, there was a lot of people up there. And, I'm glad the community's kind of getting together and doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And, David, I know you enjoy going up there and seeing the crowd coming together, and I think this year people wanted to get out and do something. We missed this stuff last year.
The downtown business agencies have done a lot. They supported that event for the fire department back in a couple of months ago, the 5K run and all that, and proceeds went to the fire departments that they raised during that 5K run. And I was proud to see this town starting to come together and be more more hometown friendly than what it has in the past, and doing more things for everybody.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the event that we had up there a couple of months ago, the 5K run with connection with 9/11 and the things going on with that tragic day, Jeff, did you all take part with the event in Nashville where you climbed the steps?
Yes,
Tell me about that.
That's that's a task in itself right there. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, you can't just walk in off the street and go up there and start trying to do that. It's a tough event, and then I come back after that and done the 5K in turnout gear, so I was tired the next day.
Yeah, and if you look at my pictures on the internet, you'll see how bad it was. It was awful. I've got a lot more respect for a couple of the guys that on our departments that went, and I mean there's some really tough guys.
How many do we have local individuals that maybe took part in this that day?
How many was there?
6 of us, I believe, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of you fine gentlemen, you've done it in past years too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first year I've done it, and probably the last. I think I'm getting too old for this.
I've been a part of it for 2 years now. So, and of course, last year we didn't get to do it because of COVID. So, I don't know. I'm not getting no younger. So, it's getting harder every day.
Well, we've got a phone call coming in. We'll just put that to the side right now. I thought I had that on vibrate. But anyway, let's get into right now, Jeff and David. Holiday season is coming up, of course. People starting to decorate Christmas trees, and, cold weather's coming up, fireplaces, wood-burning stoves. So, David, let's start out. As people get their Christmas tree, their lightings up, what's some good safety tips we need to know about holiday decorations?
Well, if they're using a live tree, make sure they keep it watered. That way it don't dry out as it's sitting in there. In the stand in the living room, don't keep it next to the fireplace. Keep it off to the side, but make sure you keep your tree hydrated.
Okay. Now, the lighting on the Christmas trees, are lighting different for live trees as opposed to artificial trees?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I think people use the same lights for either one.
Okay.
They are getting a little better now because they're a lot more LED lights and stuff, and they don't get as hot. So that kind of helps, a little, plus with their electric bill as well.
Okay. Now, when you buy lighting, can you use indoor lighting outside, or outdoor lighting inside? Or
I'm sure people are doing it, but I wouldn't recommend
okay,
it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to use outdoor lighting if you can. Make sure your extension cords, your outlets are all waterproof or rated to be outside use. And, don't overload your sockets either. And that's a big deal with LEDs now. You don't have much of a problem as the old days is overloading how much wattage is going through a plug.
Okay. And when you're looking for good lighting, whether it's indoor lighting for your decorations, outdoor lighting, is there a body out there or an organization or agency, a good sanctioning body, or is there a label on these lights that we need to look for, approved by Good Housekeeping or somebody like that?
Should have a UL sticker on it.
Okay.
United Underwriters listing. It probably should be, it'll probably have one of them labels saying it's approved. It's been tested.
Okay. So if it says UL, you're in good shape then. Okay. Jeff, let's get more now into aspects, with the cold weather, fireplaces, wood-burning stoves, infrared heater. Give us some good information about those and safety tips.
Everybody just needs to mainly, of course, you've had your stove down all year long, and if you didn't clean your flue out, before the cold weather hit, of course, it's hit now, and people are burning the stuff. If you see fire shooting out the top, just try not to panic, but, get the fire department en route, and then, we'll get it out. Most of the time, it don't, as long as it's contained to the flue, then, we can get it out, pretty quick. But the main thing is to keep it clean.
Things like infrared heaters or little space heaters that we use, maybe to heat up a smaller room or something. I understand that you're not supposed to plug those into a strip, that
Right.
they need to go straight into the outlet on the wall.
Those strip plugs have got just a thin piece of metal running around to make all the plugs hot, and they're not very stout. The wire going from it may be plenty big, but that little strip of metal on the inside is not. And you should always plug your little small 110 heaters into an outlet by itself.
Okay. David, any additions you want to add to this, or?
Well, what it tends to do is overheat the power strip that you're using, and we see a lot of fires where the power strips have been overheated because there's either too much stuff plugged into them or they just didn't have the right wire running from it. So yeah, it's a big lesson to make sure you have them plugged directly into the outlet.
And I would imagine if you're using one of these little square, what I call these infrared heaters, I've got a couple of those. But if you've had it put up, when you bring it back out after several months of having it in storage or wherever, you need to clean that filter.
You need to clean it. Yes, it'll overheat with you, and it'll really smell up your house if you're not careful with it, with all the dust burning out.
Are the infrared heaters, Jeff? Are they actually safe? You know, we hear about the safety, but they can tilt over. You know, they're not supposed to
They
catch fire.
can.
But yeah, but you still need to be safe.
Yeah, most of the newer ones have got buttons on the bottom of them, and when they get tipped over, they cut off. We still have a lot of problems with wall heaters. And a lot of people think that their wall heaters haven't been working or they don't turn it on or whatever, and they start putting stuff in front of it. And we have a lot of fires where they've had clothes baskets or whatever sitting in front of their wall heaters. And that's just never a good thing to do. Just if you're going to do something like it, you really just need to take the heater plumb out.
David, therefore, is there a good safety distance from the wall heater to an item, a clothes basket or whatever, a piece of furniture?
I would say at least 5 foot from a wall heater, especially a built-in wall heater. You know, they recommend at night you sleep with your door closed, and that is to help if something was to catch fire. That barrier between you and that door will help give you enough time to possibly get out of your house. And you know, a safety plan with your kids is definitely a must. You need to have a plan with that, especially if you've got wood burning stoves in your house, because that's more of a tendency to be a possible house fire than an actual central heating unit. So you know, if you got upstairs, make sure you know how to get out with your kids.
Jeff, the importance as well of having a smoke detector and having fresh batteries in the smoke detector.
Yeah, we try to tell everybody, you know, when the time changes, to change your battery. We've had a lot of people that we've went to their house and maybe their smoke alarm's chirping. Well, I just changed the battery in it, and we get up there and it hasn't been. And so if when the time changes, change your batteries. And one of the main things I like to try to instill in your kids not to hide, because they'll get in closets, under beds, and this and that. If not, you need to try to get them to get outside, get out of the house and not hide from the fire and the smoke and the firemen. Of course, we coming in there with, air packs on and this and that, and it's a little scary,
And that's the big thing. If you can safely do it, if you was to have a house fire, try to contain it to the room. Shut the doors as you go out. That way it takes away the oxygen of the fire. With the doors closed, it won't let it have as much oxygen. And that will start helping the fire die down and give us time to get in there and get it put out.
As you mentioned earlier, just a few minutes ago, David, very important to have in every room of your house, very important to have a fire, an escape plan.
Yes, it's very important. And, mobile homes, go up a whole lot quicker than an actual house. So, you just need to plan early and make sure your kids understand what to do in an emergency like that.
And I think each year in October, that is designated as Fire Prevention Month, or maybe a week in October, Fire Prevention Week. But these are things we can talk about 12 months out of the year.
Oh, absolutely. It's not talked about enough, I just, maybe one of these days we'll have some stuff in the schools where the kids, as they're growing up, will have a better understanding of what to do and what not to do. And volunteers, the firemen and the rescue squad personnel are going downhill, and we've got to figure out a way to recruit some new members eventually, or this is going to be a dying breed.
What's a good way? People may be listening to us this morning in our closing moments. If they're listening to us and would like to become a member of the rescue squad or one of the fire departments, what can they do?
Well, we all have a Facebook page, so you can reach out to us by a Facebook page. We have regular meetings all throughout the month for each agency. I mean, it's just, I see this across the state. Everybody's hurting for membership and people wanting to volunteer. And I hate to say it, but the young generation now wants to know what it pays before they ever get started. And that's, it's hard to pay a volunteer.
Jeff?
Well, the Camden Fire Department, of course, we're paid on call and this and that, and they'll only allow us to have so many members. We've got 18 members at the moment, and we pretty much have to wait till somebody retires or quits or whatever before we do. But of course, like he said, as far as the rescue squad goes, we're open for people pretty much all the time. But anyhow, that's about all I've got.
Well, when you go on a call, you come back to the City Hall, of course, and do a little report, but do you have to report the fire beyond City Hall? Do you have to report that maybe to a state agency?
Yeah, we do the TFERS reports and have to turn that in. And that helps you out with your ISO ratings and this and that, which, we're even hoping, maybe one day to go a little lower than we are now. I mean, we're what they call a 5/5X, and that's very good. There's several other departments that are that as well. And, hopefully one day maybe we could even get a full-time fire department and get even better.
I know this is something, even when this City Hall was built back maybe 50 years ago, I think at one particular point in time, one of the rooms going down the hallway may have been designated as an overnight place for firemen to stay.
Well, we do have a room now set up to where if we have storms or this and that, some of the firemen can come up and lay down. And we've got it fixed back up now to where, we could temporarily use it for a full-time station.
And he's talking about the ISO ratings. This is what a lot of industry and businesses look at before they ever move into a town is what is the fire department ISO rating, because that means cheaper insurance for them when they get here and what kind of coverage the fire department will provide for them.
Well, David, we've talked about, fire safety, of course, in this particular point in time, holiday lighting, things like that. But at the same time, let's give some tips as well. Of course, tornadoes can hit any time of the year. We think of it as spring, of course, but we need to be weather alert 12 months out of the year. Give me some good weather tips.
Well, we got that code red that everybody can sign up for, and that's a good resource for
That's excellent.
For warnings and weather reports like that. Have a safe room to go to in the event of a tornado. A couple of years ago, Ballard Road was hit really hard, and just like that. And a lot of them didn't have a warning, and not enough warning to be able to get to a safe spot that night.
Yeah, that thing moved so quickly. I think it even caught some of the people at the Weather Service. I think it caught them a little bit by surprise.
I mean, the water department was on the other side of town working and didn't realize what was going on until after it done moved through part of Benton County. So it come through quick, and it caught a lot of people off guard.
And that particular system, unfortunately, it killed a gentleman out off of Ballard Road and that particular Bethel Church Road out in that area, and a lot of damage out there. That system moved on from west to east. I mean, a lot of damage as far as way as Cookville.
Yes, all the way across, and that was Cookville's had several different big events too for tornadoes as well, and you just got to be weather alert. Keep a portable radio handy with you.
And weather, of course, it's not a science. It's not an exact science. Weather forecasting is not. But, there's several ways now. Weather reporting, weather systems, alerts, predictions. It's more advanced than it was 15 years ago.
Oh, yes. I mean, all we had here a few years ago was a tornado siren here. The whole fire whistle, when it went off, it'd be a tornado warning. But, things have advanced more now. You got spotters across counties. A whole lot more advanced technology and radar.
Yeah. Well, in closing, and I know, we give a very special shout out to all our emergency responders. We appreciate you. And I know you have to have a devoted better half with you at all times to be able to do the things you do, and to somebody very, very close, David.
Oh, yeah. Mine supports me very well. She gives me grief every now and then, but I don't blame her. It's a stressful life. I mean, it will put a strain on everything you do.
And Jeff, you can relate to that.
Oh, I can. Now, what David's doing now with the state, with being the state president, that's going above and beyond. I mean, takes a lot of time. And so, but yes, my wife's real good about, supporting us and all. Of course, I might get a sideways look every once in a while when she might want to do something else, but that's just normal.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, we just have to do what and she understands.
But we're both blessed. I mean, it's the support we get from our family members, because it's a tough job. I mean, it'll take a toll on anybody if you've been in it long enough from the stuff you see, and it takes special people to be able to support you like that.
Not just the victims that it takes its toll on as well, but the responders as well. And we've seen that so much this year, 3 months ago, and still, and it affects the responders too.
Oh,
the situation you deal with, and everybody can't take that.
PTSD wasn't thought about in the first responders till about 10 years ago. But now they've got strike teams and crisis teams that will come in, and you can have a debrief after a major event. And I sat through one a few months ago from the Waverly flood because of some of the things that we seen while we were over there. And believe it or not, it's good to be able to sit down and have a roundtable discussion over what you're dealing with.
Yeah. I was over at Waverly that Saturday afternoon over there with the sheriff, and I think you were around over there and talking with some individuals, maybe some younger members of the rescue squad or with emergency operations, and you were yourself telling them, you're probably going to see things you need to see. If you just need to talk about it and relax, take a break, by all means do that.
Yes, you have to. You can't leave this stuff bottled up, or it will take you down. It will take you down in a bad way.
Yeah. Well, David, Jeff, thank you so much for being with us. And David, a closing word from you, sir.
Well, I've been blessed. I love serving the community, and I've been blessed to be able to do it.
Jeff?
I just appreciate all the support that we get from the county and the city and everybody that comes into Benton County. We most of the time don't ever have a crossword, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for what you do. We certainly hope that you and all members of the rescue squad and the fire department and all emergency responders have a very happy and safe holiday, Christmas and New Year's season. God bless you all. Thank you again for being here with us today and getting up after getting in at 4 this morning. I appreciate it. And, of course, if we can ever help you, know where we are. God bless you. We'll see you at the Christmas parades.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to David Tuck, Jeff Pierce for being with us, ladies and gentlemen, on Operation 7570. Hope that all of you have a great Saturday after Thanksgiving. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next Saturday morning.
Hello, folks. This is Marcus Vine with Apex Bank of Camden, and we're proud to announce that this year is our 90th year serving the Benton County community. Since Bank of